Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Yomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. In this session, we will try to understand the method used by the Shruti to explain or help us to recognize Brahman. Now, in the beginning stages of the study, the aspirants will be knowing that Brahman is only the Nimitta Karana, that is the creator of the Jagat, and that the Jagat is different from Brahman. This is what we say, Dvaita, duality. Therefore, they know only that Brahman with attributes which is recognized in relation to this Jagat. So it is necessary to start the spiritual teaching only with this qualified Brahman. That is Brahman on which Nimitta, causeness, is superimposed. This superimposition of the causeness on Brahman is called Adhyaropita. It is imposed on Brahman. Actually, Brahman does nothing ultimately. But to explain to us, it is said that, well, the Brahman is the creator. And that is why it's called Adhyaropa. In the next stage, Brahman will have to be introduced through the three features of Satyam, Jnanam, and Anantam. In the last stage, they will come to know that the Jagat is not different from Brahman, and the aspirant will realize that the Brahman is one, only one, without a second. Therefore, that means Advaita. Therefore, it automatically becomes the not like this Brahman, Neti Neti. Neti Neti Atma, Sri Ramakrishna also often says this in the Gospel. With this final understanding, the Brahman with attributes is obviously dropped, which was accepted in the beginning. This method of the Shastra is called Adhyaropa Apavada. It is only at the end of the study that the aspirant comes to know Brahman as totally transactionalness, akarta. Though apparently creation, sustenance, and destruction of Jagat are handled by it. See, nothing is a lie. This will not be known in the beginning when he is ignorant of Brahman being the Upadana of the Jagat. He wrongly imagines that the Jagat is independent, Brahman is its creator. Starting from this premise, the Shastra also treats the Jagat as adjunct to Brahman and superimposes all transactions of creation, sustenance, destruction, and Brahman. Remember, even any teaching method, anybody who has learned, method of teaching, we start from the known to the unknown. So, from the known Jagat, this spiritual aspirant is taken by the Shruti to that invisible Brahman. Now, this superimposition is called Adhyaropa. Further, the Shastra analyzes the Jagat on the basis of Jagat Brahman non-difference relation and educates that is Karya Karana Ananyatva, or cause effect, non-difference of cause and effect, and educates the aspirant that it cannot be treated as an upadhi to Brahman because it is not different from it at any time, whether the past, the present, or future. Equipped with this correct understanding, looking beyond the name forms, the aspirant will concentrate only on the unchanging Brahman. By this step, all the transactions, attributes, and features which are superimposed on it due to the avidya will drop off. Then, in spite of one witnessing the changing world with indriyas, one will not lose sight of the intrinsic Brahman without attributes. In this way, dropping off of the superimposition made in the beginning is called Apavada. One can refer to Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, second chapter, first Brahmana, 20th mantra, Bhagavad Gita, 13th chapter, 13th shloka. In short, Adhyaropa is the temporary superimposition of the things not existing in Brahman, and then Apavada is rejecting them later. At this stage, it may be necessary to clarify once again what is that which is dropped by Apavada. Before understanding the intrinsic nature of Brahman, The aspirant was looking at the Jagat from the transactional view, Vyavaharika point only. Never once did he see it from the transcendental view, Paramarthika Drishti. After studying the Shastra, he develops a Paramarthika Drishti or transactional view about the Jagat, and then the wrong impressions he had about Brahman previously get dropped. The misconception that transactions are carried out, that the transactions are carried out by it is gone. That means Brahman is transactionless. Though he continues to perceive with the physical eye the transactions of the world, his firm understanding that none of it exists in Brahman itself is never shaken. He also eats, he also walks, he also sees everything. But he has got the buddhi on the cause only Brahman. He has only the Swarna buddhi, that is the gold, only he thinks about the clay, not about the forms of the names that have come from clay or from gold. Though he continues to perceive the thing with the eye, the transactions of the world, he is never shaken by it. This is just like one who knows science, continuing to see with his eyes the earth is flat, but knowing firmly that it is round. We don't see earth as round. We see as earth as flat, but science tells us it is round. So in the same way, the Brahman has to be understood through the recognized through the Shruti. But once you understand God or Brahman, then you are there. You have to be in it. That is dhyana. But when you see it as a particular symbol to be concentrating your mind, it is upasana. But in dhyana, you are just that. You just remain in that. That is that ecstasy in which Sri Ramakrishna used to go into. When that bhava came in him, there was no transaction. He was just still. He couldn't do anything because he was completely one as we are in our deep sleep to be woken up. Or some mantra had to be uttered to bring him back to the world. So he was totally absorbed or one with God. And there was no world in that sense. But later, when his eyes are open, also, he's only seeing God in everything. He's only seeing Brahman. He's not, in his mind, he's not looking at it as ABC, names and forms. But the names and forms are seen, those senses are seeing them. Indriyas are looking at his Vishya. I have nothing to do with it. Gunas are doing their own jobs. I have nothing to do with it. This is the Jnani's experience. That is why this method is adopted by the Shastra of Adhyaropa Apavada to explain what is this. See, here we must also understand about the Sat Chit Ananda. This, when we go as individuals into our heart, meditating means doing upasana, and then this quality of this existence, awareness, you come to that, and you get the joy, bliss. Then one is in Brahman. Just remember that deep sleep is Sat Chit Ananda. There is awareness, it is existing, and it is bliss. Only problem is in deep sleep we are having ignorance that we are one with Brahman. But when in Samadhi, one is having full awareness, one is Brahman. Therefore, Brahman is Brahman and it is Satchit Ananda, but we don't talk about qualities of Brahman. Brahman is Brahman. Then one realizes it, then see, it cannot be explained in words. Thakur is constantly telling it. Cannot explain it. Na, naiva ma, chana, manasana, darka, nothing. You cannot get it, speak about it through mind or words, won't be able to express. It's not an object. It has to be realized. That is there. We have to all go. But these are only steps taking us to that through Visheshana, Lakshana, features, with adjectives and all that qualities to help us to first learn to concentrate the mind. Once the buddhi becomes absolutely pure, because Brahman is Ati Nirmala, Ati Swacha, Ati Sukshma. When the buddhi becomes Ati Nirmala, Ati Swacha, Ati Sukshma, it reflects in that, the pure buddhi. So, What is this ati nirmala? How does the buddhi become ati nirmala? Through puja and other actions or japa. And ati swacha through upasana. And ati sukshma through even swadhyaya. Because the mind will become, buddhi will become sharp, and we'll be able to, what you call, we'll be able to realize those words in their own being. That is why this buddhi has to be, the sadhana is only to make the buddhi antarmukhi and to make it ati nirmala, ati swacha, ati sukshma, and this is what Brahman is. So when that buddhi becomes that, we have been constantly talking of Brahman as that supreme intelligence, and that supreme intelligence gets connected with this intelligence when it becomes that infinite or absolute, which merges, it's one with Brahman. This is how it goes, and this is from the Bhashya Vakya, from the Bhashya in the 18th chapter of the 50th shloka, where how, the realization comes actually in the buddhi. So buddhi has to be made pure. All our sadhana is to make the buddhi pure. So with these words, I conclude here our discussions. कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृतेः स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि. हरि ओम तत्सत्.